Well, they were throwing it quick. That was pretty obvious. And, and they did some chipping, which, every team in this league does against every defense. And they were getting it out quick, I think, was the main reason.
Okay, is that a suitable explanation from Vic Fangio to explain the lack of impact made by Von Miller and Bradley Chubb?
Well, sure. I mean, we can sit there and say, yeah, that's legitimate. They were getting chipped. I mean, everybody gets chipped. I did a game with Terrell Suggs and Chandler Jones, two of the best bookends in all of football. They were getting chipped, and they still ended up, I think Suggs had 2 sacks. I know Jones had at least 1. Yeah. So, hey, if you're getting chipped and they're getting the ball out quick, how do you react to that? What do? You get up and you play press bail. You disrupt routes. You don't let guys get off the line of scrimmage. You make the quarterback hold the ball so that your pass rushers can get there. I mean, for every action, there's a equal reaction, or how's that? What's that?
It's science.
Every action, there's a equal or opposite reaction. Thank you, Ben. Look at Ben is so smart. I'm just dumb. But anyhow,
he's younger. He's been out of school less time than us.
Equal or opposite reaction. So, hey, if that's what you're getting, it goes back to the Saints game. The Saints needed 9 yards to get a legitimate, or 10 yards to get a legitimate, field goal attempt at the end for a 58-yarder, and they're playing 3 safeties deep, and they're playing off coverage sitting at 10 yards. Thank you. I'll just take the 10 yards, and at least we've got an opportunity. Like, does that make any sense? With 6 seconds left. Like, if you just jam guys so the quarterback holds the ball, you can't even use that timeout. You complete it, and the clock is done. You gotta, there's got to be a thought process that goes on there, Mike. And as a coaching staff, I think that wasn't good enough.
Do you think, because when you look at Bradley Chubb and especially Vaughn, they're defined. They've made their mark, especially Vaughn, with the idea of getting after the quarterback, rushing the quarterback. Vaughn holds a pass rush summit every offseason where pass rushers get together. They're not getting together to talk about the best techniques when it comes to dropping into coverage. They're talking about getting after the quarterback, beating their man.
Right.
So you had brought up earlier how a team like the Patriots, they don't care about sacks because they don't want to disrupt the overall integrity of their defense. So is part of the problem here is that we got two guys who think of themselves, never mind what we think of themselves as, hey, it's all about just getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that's where Vic had come in and said, hey, Vaughn can be better. Like, again, I just look at are you guys about championships? And I think, listen, Vaughn and Bradley are great players, and we need them. We're a better team when they're rushing the passer and when they're getting pressure. Unfortunately, the Broncos just got outplayed and out executed, and they weren't able to do that. And that's just the reality of the situation. But no, I want in critical situations, I want Vaughn rushing the quarterback. That's what I want. But I want him getting there too.
Next on the Morning Brew.
Now Stidham going back down the right sideline. This time for Thomas. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Patriots.
That's what he does. What we were just talking about, his ability to use his body downfield. It's all down the sideline, vertical. Look at the quick feet off the Achilles. That's a good sign.
Well, Demaryius Thomas's time as a Patriot was short-lived as he was traded yesterday to the Jets. And boy, has DT bounced around since all those years with the Broncos. But are the Jets actually a good place for him?
Oh, yeah, I think the Jets are a great place for him with Adam Gase, a guy that, was coaching here when DT was having his, monstrous type seasons. Absolutely, it's a tremendous place for a guy like DT. I think it's great.
Well, he's going to get a chance to play with a future Hall of Fame quarterback, so he's got that going for him.
Right, yeah, that's going to be great. I mean, that's always a good thing, right?
But do you think the Gase element is the big part of it here? You think Gase, just by making this kind of move, Gase is saying that, hey, I think he's still got a lot of football left in him.
I think that,
or is it the move of a team that just scored 16 points in losing their first game and realizing that they don't have much at wide receiver, and what the heck?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of, hey man, it's Adam Gase, and we need more help. There's no question, and we're not all that deep, and there's a guy out there that can help and that understands kind of my offense, some of my verbiage, and what we want to do. So yeah, I think it's just a good match overall.
Next on the Morning Brew.
You know, I've asked a lot of guys over the years to stay at my house, and some have taken me up on it, and others haven't. And, I just want this transition for him to be really smooth. And it's been a lot of travel to go from the West Coast to the East Coast and, again, learning the playbook. So I just want him to be comfortable. Whatever's up to him, I'm totally cool with.
That's Tom Brady, who I wonder if he'll have Antonio Brown continuing to stay in his house with his wife, with his kids, in the wake of this new news that he's been, Antonio Brown, accused of sexually assaulting his former trainer, according to a lawsuit filed yesterday. Now, by all reports, the Patriots were not aware of these charges. What do the Patriots, or more importantly, what does the league do in regards to Antonio Brown?
Well, I mean, obviously you're going to let, due process take its course, correct?
You can, but in the process of that happening, you can put him on the commissioner's exempt list, meaning he can't play football while this thing plays out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's done that before, the commish has.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you could definitely do that. I've read, like, this is a new accusation, but this has been going on for a while. I read that. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have any idea what's happening, or I have read all the allegations and, the alleged emails and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think this is just one of those situations where you are probably going to let this thing play out, and maybe not. I mean, here's the thing. They already traded DT, right? They already got rid of one receiver once they got him. And, this is the guy you went after. It's going to take him a while to get up to speed in that offense anyhow. So, do you see him this weekend? Probably not. Maybe they just slow play it. But, knowing the Patriots, they're going to let this thing kind of go through its due process to see exactly, what if it looks legit or whatever, though, they'll probably just get rid of him. But I think they're going to go through due process.
And let him play while they're waiting.
Yes.
Next on the Morning Brew.
Oh, boy. Stay fair, and it's long gone. Home run. Out course. Here we come. And one hop out of the yard.
Rushed.
That was a big fly. 2-1 Colorado. 2-0 Colorado.
AT&T Sportsnet, where you can still see Rockies games. The Rockies win yesterday, 2-1, and while they play out the string, Nolan Arenado's having himself quite a finish to the season. As in the month of August, he hit 12 home runs, and he's already picked up here in the first 9 games of September. Already has 4 home runs, 38 home runs, 110 RBI, and he's hitting .310 and playing Gold Glove, winning third base. My only question is Nolan already thinking about the opt-out date on his contract?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think at this point you're looking at yourself, or you're looking at this team. I mean, how much faith do you have that they're going to fix the pitching woes in one off season? I mean, wouldn't it be like you said this a week ago or so? Like, Dave Dombrowski just won the World Series, and they were awful this year, and don't be surprised when they fire Dave Dombrowski. And I thought you were crazy. And what did the Boston Red Sox do?
Just fired Dave Dombrowski.
I mean, like, I don't. Would the Rockies make a dramatic move and
Well, they
change?
should. I mean, come on, they should. All right, look here. If a team wins the World Series last year and then fires their general managers with a very simple reason, you have expectations. You have, as an organization, certain expectations, and if those expectations aren't met, there are consequences. You don't live in the past. You deal with where you're at, what the consequences are if you don't meet those expectations. And the Rockies fell far, far short of what their expectations were, and they should hold somebody accountable, Jeff Bridich, but they won't because they're the Rockies. They're the stand pat Rockies.
Right.
That's what they are, and they will continue to stand pat because Dick Monfort is deathly afraid of change. He is deathly afraid of making moves, getting rid of people, and going through the process of finding new people. He likes comfort. He likes familiarity, and that's why they will stand pat and
Right.
trot out the same old, same old. What was that from? Was that from?
Ben, that is
Was that
from. Let me
Braveheart?
get. No, that's
that was-
300. No, not 3.
Was that from the Patriot?
Was it Bold? Hold?
It is Braveheart.
Oh, when they're charging, they got the spears, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
was that Mel
wonderful.
Gibson? But that was Mel Gibson, right? I think they had a very similar scene in the movie The Patriot, did they not? I think it
Hey,
did.
come on,
I mean,
it's
don't
Mel.
fire until
And-
you see the whites of their eyes, right? It's
Right,
Mel. It's
and
Mel.
then-
It's what Mel does.
It's the pay, and then what women want. I mean, it was very. Wait a minute.
Hold. What do you mean, hold?
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Maybe I'm mixing
Yeah,
metaphors
I think you're
right
mixing
now.
movies right now.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, we're going to move along. That'll do it for the Morning Brew.